Hello, my name is Alejandra Martinez, and I am a 7th grade science teacher. I've been teaching for 13 years and I love my job. My favorite part is awakening the scientist and explorer within my students. I want to inspire them to ask questions, observe, and investigate. My students love doing labs and going outside, and they get a kick out of our class mascot, Slomo, who you'll see in a few of the photos I've included in this video. Memorial Junior High is in Eagle Pass, Texas, a small town on the border with Mexico. We are a Title I district and we have a high LEP population. 100% of our students receive a free lunch. I represent teachers that face challenges every day due to language limitations, differences in culture, and socioeconomic status. 2 years ago, I sailed aboard the deep-sea drilling ship the Joides Resolution as an education and outreach officer. 2 other educators and I organized ship-to-shore webcasts where students could get a tour of the ship and the science happening aboard. I became really good friends with 2 microbiologists on board, and we applied for an NSF grant that had an outreach component that included my students. Dr. Virginia Edgecombe, Dr. Jason Sylvan, and I came up with a project that involved Jason visiting my students and 2 field trips, one to the Rio Grande and one to Port Aransas, Texas. We started off the year by having Jason answer some of my students' questions.
I think you've met me, but if you haven't, I'm Jason Sylvan. I'm a professor at Texas A&M University in the Department of Oceanography, where I study microbes, bacteria, archaea, some phytoplankton, things like that live in the ocean.
He also gave them a tour of his lab and explained the work he does. This opened up the lines of communication between a real scientist and my students. They couldn't wait to meet him. In November, Jason visited my classroom. We had a 3-part project plan for the students. I collected water from 3 locations, the Rio Grande River, a local lake, and the county canal system. First, they looked at the water samples under a microscope. Then, one of Jason's PhD students, Ying Wei, showed my students how to create streaks on petri dishes. They couldn't wait to see what grew on their petri dishes, and the results did not disappoint. The next day, we took a trip out to the Rio Grande River. Students were able to explore one of our local wild places. They used more petri dishes to do some streaks, and Jason told them all about water quality testing using a probe. We talked about how humans impact the river and our ecosystem, the Rio Grande Plain, and how it changes depending on rainfall. Students used their power of observation to complete their ecosystem analysis handout. They would later complete the other side of this handout on our next field trip and compare the 2 ecosystems. It was fascinating being able to see my students ask Jason and Ying questions, collaborate with each other, and open up a line of communication with scientists doing cutting-edge research. In April, we took a field trip to Port Aransas, Texas, where students boarded the RV Katy, a boat run by the University of Texas Marine Science Institute. They were a little nervous because many had never been on a boat, but I was proud of their bravery. While on board, they were able to collect plankton and view it under a microscope. They used their observation skills to identify the plankton. The naturalist on board collected a benthic sample, and students worked in groups to sift through it and find even more organisms. We towed a net for about 20 minutes and collected fish, squid, and other organisms. The naturalists separated the friendly ones from the unfriendly, and my students were able to experience real hands-on science. We also had a chance to go beachcombing. Students explored a tidal pool and played in the surf. Ginny helped them identify organisms and taught them about life on the shore. The students also took it upon themselves to collect trash along the beach. 7th graders are on the cusp of deciding what they want to do with their lives, and many of them felt empowered by this experience. I truly believe that we have created the next generation of scientists and explorers here. Thanks for watching.